Breaking news, my country people. Voters who trooped out to exercise their franchise have beaten an official of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to plumb for allegedly coming with a pre-filled result sheet to a polling unit. Hey, my country people, it don't happen. Oh, Nigerians don't beat INEC staff woto for coming to the election ground with a pre-filled results sheet. You can imagine, my country people, all these things still dey happen. Now, according to witness, in the pre-filled result, the electoral umpire allocated about 443 votes to the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and also allocated 31 votes to the All Progressive Congress and 15 votes to the Labour Party candidate, for the Igbo North and Umunu federal constituency. And we all know that recently, INEC conducted the rerun election in the constituency following the ruling of the appeal court, which cancelled the election in some polling units over the non-inclusion of the logo of the All Progressive Congress in Form EC 8A. However, despite INEC officials arriving late in many polling units for the election, INEC polling officers came without results or pre-filled results, especially in polling units that have great number of voters. Now, at Igororo Ezu Ward 2, Unit 004, the presiding officer was lucky to have left with his life after the voters discovered the already filled result sheet even before the commencement of the voting. My country people, it was learnt that the INEC presiding officer, who gave his name for Mr. Roland from Igbo Etiti Council area, said that the pre-filled result was given to him from the local government by INEC. And my country people, the trouble started for Mr. Roland when the angry voters asked him to show them the result sheet following the news that so many polling units have no result sheet. And according to eyewitness, Mr. Roland told the voters that his SPO was coming with it. And people were not convinced with his excuse. And that was how they pounced on him when he brought out the result sheet from his bag. And at this point, they searched through the result sheet and they saw what he did. Guys, they almost killed this INEC staff. Nigerians are angry. The people are angry. This rerun election that was conducted by INEC, guys, I must say that there were a lot of glitches. A whole lot of glitches, so irregularities here and there. Voter suppression. I'm talking about thuggery, where you will see that thugs are carting away with ballot boxes, INEC officials not coming on time to polling units. My country people, this is really interesting. And to top it all, recently, INEC had to denounce this guy. Yes, so my country people, they denounce and they renounce him, claiming that this INEC staff that was beaten was not their official. You can imagine, my country people. INEC claimed he wasn't a staff of their commission. Well, my country people, it is expected that INEC would naturally deny this guy after he was being caught. Guys, this is really interesting. And at this point, Nigerians are saying no to a lot of things. And I think the people are taking this "We no go gree" slogan seriously, because you can imagine a man in his right senses, an INEC staff, coming to a polling unit with a pre-filled election result, which is really terrible. And a lot of people have really commended the decision of those that gave this man, a thorough beating of his lives. People really commended them for, doing such a thing, while others really showed sympathy on the INEC staff, because guys, they almost killed him. The way they pounced on him, and a lot of people saw this as a good lesson, to serve as a lesson to others, that would want to engage in this kind of act. And at this point, people are commending them that they really did well and it served the man well. Next time, he would not engage in such illegality. Guys, all these things, it's getting out of hand. And Nigerians are saying enough is enough. How can an INEC staff come to a polling unit with a pre-filled election result, coming there boldly and what is he thinking, that Nigerians are fools, that Nigerians are not going to suspect or find out what he has done? And this thing happened in the previous election. I'm talking about the 2023 presidential election. This is what happened in some polling units. But then Nigerians raised alarm, and all of a sudden INEC swept it under the carpet. Yet when people raised alarm that this is what happened in some polling units, the INEC would say that is false, that if you are not comfortable with it, you should go to court. So a lot of people had called for the total cancellation of the rerun election in some particular places over cases of this pre-filled election results. In some places like Enugu, it happened, and people are also talking that this must really come to an end. Like the Labour parties, they raised alarm over this very issue, that there are some cases where in some polling units, some INEC officials came with a pre-filled election result, and this even led to a protest, I beg your pardon, in Enugu, as people came out in masses to protest, because it seems that some people and some INEC officials are hell-bent on making sure they favor a particular political party by coming with a pre-filled election result. So this really led to protests, not to talk about the late arrival of materials, and also in some cases missing result sheets. So guys, this was observed in some states, where there was a re-election. This was observed, and at this point people are complaining about this, and I really think all these things need to end in our country, because it's not leading us anywhere. It is not leading us anywhere. Instead, it is bringing us backward. Now, how can we be having cases of, replacement of result sheets with fake ones, whereby we see result sheets go missing, the original result sheets goes missing, and they are being replaced with fake ones. The late arrival of election materials, in some cases, low voter turnout. Low voter turnout, and people are hereby discouraged by all these things, and people are saying no. We cannot go out and cast our votes, and INEC would at the back change the votes. Are they trying to take Nigerians for a ride? And at this point, a lot of people have really commented on this. And I must tell you that if this should continue, it would lead to a low voter turnout. It would definitely lead to a low voter turnout, like what we saw in some states where they conducted this re-election in Nigeria. People would be discouraged to come out to vote. Last elections, we saw how Nigerians trooped out in masses, in large numbers. People came out to vote with the high hopes that, yes, their vote would count. It would be a free and fair election. But alas, what did they see? It was all a scam. It was all a sham. It was all a jamboree. And people really felt discouraged by that. And at this point, a lot of people are even expressing concerns that people are still coming out to vote. Even after what they experienced in the past elections, people still come out to vote. Well, my country people, Nigerians still have these high hopes that all will be well in this country. And I really think that all these things must stop. Well, I do not support violence, but that INEC staff really deserve what he got. And he is lucky that he came out of the beating alive. I'm dropping here, guys. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section.